What's up, losers? Today I'm back with some more r/fatlogic fun. Reading through a couple of eyebrow-raising posts, sharing my thoughts on them, and, no doubt, shaking my head in despair a few times. This is episode 115 in the fatlogic series. And I'm ready to be amazed, so without further ado, let's get into it.
I have many straight-sized friends, and it breaks my heart hearing anti-fat or fat-phobic things from them. I know this is a stretch, but I don't feel like I can trust straight-sized cis women. At least, not regarding body liberation, and I hate that, more than I can say. I think I need more fat friends.
I am with you 1000%. Even people in marginalized groups cannot understand the depth of how poorly people in marginalized bodies are treated. It's not just what they say, too, when friends ask for a booth, without checking if the tables are attached to the wall, when they say they'd like to go to a theme park, because they like roller coasters, when they say they'd like to do a shopping day. It's always there. It's so relaxing to be friends with people you don't have to explain those things to. White, cis, able-bodied folks are never going to get how you know what people are thinking of you. They act like we are insecure when we are upset about the people staring they didn't notice. It's like people in marginalized bodies are more in tune with these microaggressions. And, I guess, just vibes.
Okay, so, I actually agree with the first person in this one that they probably can't trust most thin people, or at least, they can't trust them to live up to the ridiculous expectations they have for how they ought to be treated by their friends. They can't trust thin people to kiss their ass at every turn and tell them how special they're for being fat. They can't trust thin people to lie to them and tell them that being fat is healthy, when we all know that it isn't. And they can't trust thin people to shelve all of their activity plans because they are too obese to participate in them, and refuse to do anything about it. So as far as all of that goes, maybe they really would be better off with more fat friends. Or more specifically, fat activist friends. At the same time, though, I can't help but feel that refusing to associate with anyone who challenges you in any way, and retreating back into a space where everyone indulges your fantastical beliefs, is not going to do you any good in the long run. In fact, it seems like an ideal method for stunting your personal growth, and ensuring that you double down on your current unhealthy behaviors, until their health consequences simply become too devastating to ignore, at which point it may be too late to turn things around. Which, I hope we can all agree, is far from ideal. So to this poster, basically, if you're set on having friends who only tell you what you want to hear, and are happy to remodel their entire social calendar around enabling you, then most thin people probably aren't going to be the right fit for you. But if you ever change your mind, and decide that you want more than sycophantic yes people for friends, then we'll be right here waiting for you. As for the second person, I honestly just don't know what they were expecting from the thin people in their lives. Like, it's not their job to make sure that everything is perfect for you at all times. And it doesn't seem at all reasonable to me to expect them to stop going shopping, or riding roller coasters, or whatever, just because those are activities that you can't or don't want to participate in. It's not like they're actively excluding you. They're just doing completely normal things that you, as a result of your unhealthy life choices, are less suited for. So maybe instead of pointing the accusatory finger at everyone else, like you always do, it might be worth genuinely reflecting on how your size limits your life fulfillment, and how much better things could be for you if you shed a few pounds. Furthermore, can we get a little perspective here? When you talk about the depth of how poorly people in quote marginalized bodies are treated, you might be overplaying your hand a little. Wouldn't you say? I mean, not getting to ride a roller coaster is hardly a heartbreaking catastrophe. Tons of people can't ride roller coasters, including children who are too small, pregnant women, people with heart conditions, and others. It's not some horrible injustice or traumatic oppression, it's just a bit of a bummer. And if it really means that much to you, you could always, I don't know, lose a little weight, and ride it next time. Just a thought. Otherwise, there's always plenty of food on offer at theme parks. So you can always just go and do what you do best. Eat haha. That'll cheer you up, I'm sure.
This is where your internalized fat phobia has gotten you. Maybe if you hadn't lost all that weight so fast, then your knee wouldn't have crapped out on you like that. I'm sorry. I know it really hurt. But maybe this is the wake-up call that you need. Slaving away at the gym and disordered eating to suppress your set point weight is going to mess you up. I feel like I barely know you. These last 2 years, you've gone from being a friend to being just another fatphobic gym bro. So shitty describing your old self as obese and posting before and after photos of losing weight. Knowing how that makes me feel, I supported you when you came out to your parents. But it's clear to me now it was a one-way street. As far as allyship goes, I hope you learn a lesson from this. Peace.
Wow, I guess the fat activist being a bad friend posts are becoming a daily fixture. And if that wasn't bad enough, this one is actually significantly worse than the one from yesterday. Like, this honestly reads like a movie villain monologue. It's unbelievable. This person saw that their so-called friend was going through a tough time, and instead of offering commiserations or emotional support, they pounced on the opportunity. Like a goddamn predator, turning on them, venting all of their pent-up resentment, and, apparently, cutting ties altogether. Yikes. I can't be the only one who thinks that's legitimately psychopathic, right? And what did the target of this knife to the back do to deserve it? They described their past self as obese, and posted before and after photos having lost weight. That's it. That's fricking it. They acknowledged that they had a problem, put in the work to resolve it, and shared their accomplishment with friends and family. Nothing more. And this damn snake in the grass took that so personally that they wallowed in their jealousy and rage for I don't know how long, until they saw an opening that they could exploit to get their petty revenge. It's sick. The good news is that the injured person's knee will heal with a little time, and then they can get back to their gym routine and continue on with the positive direction that their life is heading in. Free of the absolute dead weight that this fake friend represented. And the friend will still be a sad, delusional, bitter, and all-round awful person, going nowhere, achieving nothing, and pushing everyone away with the vile toxicity. And frankly, it's no less than they deserve. Phew, I got a bit carried away there. Didn't I? Sorry. It's just, seeing the absolute audacity, I couldn't hold myself back, haha. Let's hope the last post is a little lighter.
I've talked about this more in depth on my erotic art account. But I get so frustrated seeing artists who will draw fat people, or even have fat characters they regularly draw, though this seems less common, but have no understanding of, or willingness to engage with, fat politics. You should care about the fat people that actually have to exist in this world, not just fatness as an aesthetic, or as a trait to give your character.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we have it. Exhibit R, Q, W, Z. Honestly, I've lost count at this point. But yeah, we have yet more evidence that you should never, ever, try to appease fat activists. Because it will never, ever, be enough to make them happy. No matter what you do. Like after the multiple posts I've seen of fat activists complaining that no one draws fat characters. Here we have someone complaining that actually, even if you do draw fat people, it still isn't good enough, unless you also become involved in fat politics, which, let's be real, nobody with even a shred of common sense or self-respect, is even going to consider doing haha. So it's basically just a dead end. The only way you can make these people happy is to be as much of a clown as they are. And I don't know about anyone else, but I'm not doing it haha. At the end of the day, if you want to draw fat people, or have fat characters in your stories, you should go for it. Don't let the petulant whining of some random fat activist stop you. But don't expect to win any approval for your efforts, because I highly doubt that anything you do will be flattering enough for the fat activists to embrace it. Unless you rewrite the Chronicles of Narnia, with Aslan morbidly obese, and the White Witch as a diet coach, or something like that haha. As a final note, I think this post really overestimates the allure of the fat aesthetic. I'm sure some people think that fat bodies look cool, and there's certainly no shortage of fat fetishists out there. But I really don't think that fatness, as an aesthetic, is something that most people aspire to, whether in their art or in their fashion. So yeah, I don't think you need to worry too much about fat appropriation, or anything like that, because most of us really aren't that impressed or interested. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the posts, and that you found my commentary useful in some way. What do you think? Are thin people not to be trusted? Does taking a victory lap over your friend injuring themselves at the gym make you a giant piece of shit? Do artists need to get involved in fat politics and not just exploit the fat aesthetic? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll make you go to a theme park with me and watch crying into your cotton candy as I have fun on the roller coaster. Just kidding haha. Anyway, catch you later.